one.
All right. Hey, hand me that Noble Vines.
Got it. I'm gonna drink
I'm
this.
gonna pour some of that up here.
Shazam.
We might as well just finish this off.
Yeah, finish it off. Merlot for you, Cole.
Yeah.
No shame.
Do you like the Merlots?
Yeah. Is that one?
I don't know what is that, Christian?
No,
Trader
it's probably
Joe's?
like a Cabernet. Yep, Cabernet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I did
We
not
sound
like
like
that.
we sound like a bunch of fucking snobs saying the things that we're saying right now.
Well, we're drinking $12 wine. So.
I did not like that other one a whole lot. I can tell you that. It was okay.
I know,
Ludicrous.
we're
Cheers.
being snobs about our
Cheers.
$12 wine.
It does the job.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Cole, Barbara at TMH. How long's it been now?
I would say since the middle of December, just probably about 2 weeks before Christmas.
Right
or
around
so.
then?
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I love everything that's going on here. I love the environment. I love the marketing. I just love everything that this place is going to have to bring to the future as far as me as a stylist and as far as TMH itself.
Mm-hmm. How long you been doing hair?
Man, I started cutting hair. I'm gonna take it all the way back to I was about 12 years old back in the mid 90s. Don't make me seem too old, but this is back when everybody had the good old bowl cut. You know what I mean, where you slicked everything back and everything.
I had one, yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was the only kid in the neighborhood that had the hair clippers. So I was the go-to guy because nobody wanted to go to the barber shop to have, you know what I mean, basically your back and side shaved.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing too intricate about the haircut. So they would come over to me and bend over, let the long hair, you know what I mean, hang over, and I would shave the underneath of the hair. And I just I liked doing it for some reason, and it progressed, and eventually I just started cutting hair. I learned how to fade when the bowl cut faded out. You know what I mean? Everyone started going to the fade, and I was like, hey, well, if I was doing this, let's just try to step it up. And then I started doing that, and then just one thing led to the other, and that's how I, you know what I mean?
Into it.
That's where my passion for this game started.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang, you're young. I never even thought about touching a clipper. I would just shave my own head, but never thought about doing other people's.
You just used a big razor though.
Yeah, I was just razor shaving.
I was like, it was
real
clean bald. Clean.
Did you put a polish on it?
bald. Right? So, when did you start like going to hair school to get the license and everything?
When was it? I would say I've been licensed since, I think it's been a little over a year since I've been officially licensed. I started hair school probably about 2 years before that at Crave Beauty Academy. Well, it was Zanon's, and then they changed the name to Crave.
Well, yeah, because you showed up, because I was going to school there, and then you came like...
I think you were 2 phases in front of me or something like that.
I was like halfway done, and then he came, and that's how we actually met, linked up like that.
Yeah, so I think that's been, like 2.5 years or so.
Yeah.
And it was cool, man. I love the school, you know what I mean? I love the American Crew program that they had. That's basically why I was so interested in them, because I just want, basically, you know what I mean? I didn't know, like I got 3 kids, they're all boys, and I have 3 brothers. So there's really no girls in my family. So long hair was like super foreign to me, you know what I mean, going into hair school. Like in basics, when they're like, oh, we're gonna section apart, I was like, had to raise my hand and was like, how do you part? You know what I mean? Because I just like really didn't know much about like anything that had to do with long hair.
Yeah.
So the American Crew program is what brought me to that school, and I basically didn't look at any other options. And then I went there, I liked it, it was all good, and then I kind of ran into a little bit of problems, and so I quit for a short period of time until I transferred over to Eric Fisher Academy, which that's where I finished out my school.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it there. I learned a lot about everything about hair. You know what I mean? Eric Fisher was absolutely inspirational. He's a good motivational speaker. He's a good person to go to. He's a good, you know what I mean, mentor in every aspect.
Is he pretty involved in like the school and everything?
Oh, absolutely. You know what I mean? He's always bringing in guest speakers, people from around the world. You know, he tells us that, you know, if you want to go to any part in the world, he's like, I know somebody that's there. You know what I mean? If you want to get there and you're passionate and you love about what you do, you know what I mean, I can get you there. And you know what I mean? And he's serious about it. And that guy is there to help anybody out. At any given time, you know what I mean, especially if it comes to hair, and he loves what he does, and I mean that helps me love what I do too, knowing that I learned from him and his form.
That's cool. Who's like what, I don't know what, like I see you cutting hair a lot, but like what do you say like your clientele is mostly like percentage wise, women to men, or I guess long hair to short hair, really?
Well, I cut, you know what I mean, a lot more. I like to cut shorter hair, but I do cut longer hair. Even when it comes to my women clients, like graduated bobs are my like absolute go-to. I like to do the asymmetrical stuff in them. You know what I mean? I just like to see the extreme change in the hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, graduated bobs are loud when it comes to a hairstyle. You know what I mean? It stands out aside from any type of other haircut. I mean, as far as, unless you're doing like some crazy wicked updo or something like that, just the graduated bob is there.
Yeah.
I mean, and another thing that's crazy is that, like, any female that I've ever been over to their house and like go to their bathroom or something, I'm the type of person that will always look at their hair products and like their shampoos and like what they're using in their hair. And I promise you that 95% of them, all their products are like volumizing this, volumizing that. And so to me, it's just, it shows that women have a struggle with volume in their hair.
Yeah, make it look thicker and things like that.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? A graduation is the only haircut that builds volume in the haircut itself, because the short hair pushes long hair.
Right.
And I feel that that's the answer to all their volume products. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I can fix your volumizing product.
Well, the shorter it is, lighter it is, you know, easier to push up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny. I was talking to Christian one day because, like, I like to watch you like cut hair, like, because you move around weird. Like, you move around the chair like a stylist, you know.
Yeah.
And then Christian, he and him and Joe, they both move like barbers. Like they move the chair instead of moving around you. And like you get all weird positioned in your feet and stuff like that. I just laugh at it because I think it's funny.
Yeah, I don't. It's just.
But you're a cosmetologist, you know, like that's how you were trained, and then they were trained as barbers to, you know, not have them facing the mirror the whole time.
Yeah, man. You know, when I first started school, like it was really hard for me to learn how to use the tools, like how to use the chair and how to use the mirror and everything, because I had been cutting hair, you know what I mean, unprofessionally and unlicensed in the kitchen for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that I was just used to doing things my way and it looking good at my views. And so between both schools and my self-taught things, it's like I've kind of taken everything and thrown it all together in one little bundle and kind of made my own comfort zone when I'm cutting, you know. But at times it's like I constantly always, like as a cosmetologist, you know, like when you're cutting a one length, you know what I mean, they want you to keep your feet planted in one position and stay in one spot so you're not moving around. But I find that thing kind of hard to do, but I still end up with the same result. And even though it may seem like it takes me a little bit longer, I still like to cut in my own comfort zone.
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I mean? It's like if it feels good to me and it looks good to them, you know what I mean, we're all happy.
So like, you're at the Crave Beauty Academy with the American Crew program for how long?
Oh, well, I think I had a little over. I got on the floor, so I had over 500 hours and was able to take a client.
For like 4 months, probably.
I think it was probably about 3
months.
Yeah, something like that.
So, sorry. So you know.
Just lift it up so it's like you're talking into it, so you're talking right over it.
They're talking to
Yeah, just unleash the thing.
Like this?
Top corner.
Oh, I see. Fuck. Jesus. Oh, I see. Better? Okay. So, where's that? Okay, so you know, like, crew methods and everything, and you know how they're mostly, like, the metal blades, and they stick to, like the most limited amount of tools as possible.
Yeah.
But I see you cutting men's hair a lot, like, when you're getting down closer to the skin. I see you using, like, Andy's Masters and things like that. So where'd you learn that?
Man, you know, it's like I got my first set of masters probably like 2 years before I actually went to school.
Yeah.
And I was just like amazed at, like, because honestly I think they were my first set of professional clippers that I ever had. Everything else was like straight Walmart garbage, you know, that they got the job done, but it wasn't nothing like a master. So when I got the master, I was like, oh my God, the holy grail. Here is the answer to all my problems. And so once I started cutting with the masters, I just, you know what I mean, I grew on them. And and still at this point, it's like I feel like I'm codependent upon my masters. Like just the different levels that you can use on them.
Well, Christian will argue about it a little bit because he doesn't like the guards and stuff, like the plastic guards on it. But I see you using that a lot too. Is that something that was taught at Eric Fisher or?
Yeah, Eric Fisher basically, you know what I mean? I gotta say, put it out there that they're really vague on men's haircutting.
They're not like focused on it at all.
They showed the scoring videos for our men's haircutting class. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? These girls, they're going onto the floor like basically like any guy that booked an appointment at the Air Fisher Academy. Basically, they were booked with me, and I was like, okay, you know, I was cool with that because that was my deal.
That's I mean, it's weird, but yeah.
So I liked it, but I feel bad for the girls on how vague, you know what I mean, because they didn't know a lot about the shape. But
Well, I mean, you
Not
know
only
what?
bad for them, I mean, bad for the clients that's in their chair.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right? But there's 100 different ways to get to the same look. I think
yeah, I feel
it's more like what's best for you doing it, right?
right. And
Where he's best at, like, he'll take those detachable blades from the lowest it goes to what, like a 1.5 or something like that.
Oh, I mean, I can do. I mean, if you want me to, I can do a bald fade on the side of your head from a triple lot all the way up to a 3.5 at the top, and I can make it look crispy.
Yeah.
What about that quad? See, I like to if I'm using my detachables, which you know what I mean. If I had a set right now, which I got a buddy of mine that's you know what I mean, giving me the ones that I was borrowing from him, so I'm getting ready to get those. You know, I don't have a problem using my detachables. I like them. Basically, if I use my detachables, I'll do a whole haircut basically with my detachables. And if they want a bald fade, I'll quad out up, you know what I mean, and blend up, and then I'll come back with like fast feeds or something like that and detail. Because if I use my masters are unforgiving, you know what I mean. They will show any, you know what I mean, little bit of.
Anytime you fuck up,
Basically it's there, like glowing, you know what I mean? Like standing out like a sore thumb. And so I'm like, shit, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that. And if I feel like my fast feeds will blend out and, you know what I mean, just take away and feather in a lot more than those masters.
I don't think I've ever touched a pair of fast feeds.
I like them. They're soft. They're quiet. It's kind of like a
they're
little.
incredibly quiet. I mean, I owned a pair of them for a while.
It's like a little. Compared to the masters, you can feel the power in the masters compared to your fast feeds.
Yeah.
So it's
the masters though. One thing I really appreciate about them is like you can hear the hair being cut.
Yeah.
I think it
I mean,
sounds
yeah, dude.
cool
If you
too.
oil them properly, I mean,
Yeah.
they are legitimately no noise.
Yeah, I'm big on sound as well. You know what I mean? A lot of times, if you see me cutting and you see me real close up to the head, you know what I mean. Especially if there's like background music or talk going on, and I'm like into my haircut. You know what I mean, you'll see me get like real close. That's because I'm listening to the sound. I want to know.
I thought you were just blind. So
Well, man, I need to go to the eye doctor. I'm not even gonna lie, dude, because you know what I mean. I'm 32, so I feel like it's time to go see him.
there, bud.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like hopefully I don't have any serious blindness coming upon because I love what I do, but that'd be a detrimental situation. Some blindness coming on.
Yeah, coming back to what you were saying though about like moving into fast feeds, the detail at the bottom. I mean, I don't really. Like I'll take from my trimmers. I'll turn the trimmers upside down and I'll get your head as clean as the trimmers will take them, which is usually about a 4 or a 5. I mean, since I got mine zero gapped, basically it's about a 5/0, I'd say. And so anywhere above that, I'll just come in with the trimmers, and then I'll just chip with the edge of my detachable blades. Just
that corner.
Just use the corner, man.
Have you
Literally take those lines out, and then honestly, I'll come back in when I'm really detailing towards the end of the haircut once I've styled them up and everything like that, and they said everything is good. Anything that I feel unsure about, I'll come back through and I'll take my my shears and my comb, man, and I'll get down as close as I can and just literally chip away at little areas that I see a little line or a little bit more
Dark spot or something.
Yeah, a little bit of a dark spot, whether or not it's on their head or in their hair. I'll just come back in real low with those shears. And honestly, even before I've taken my shears and just put the edge of the shear directly on the head and then kind of chipped away at the shortest hair that's even on the head, man. And it's honestly worked out for me before. So I just come back to those methods. I try not to use. I try to get away from using just one tool on an entire haircut.
Absolutely.
As far as, and it's not even for my own satisfaction. It's when you start to climb in price, and you also got to climb in ability. So being able to use all those tools to create one haircut There's also something to be said, though. I will say for using one tool on an entire haircut. You know, if you can go from completely bald at the bottom all the way up to, you know, if you're using guards, you use a 3 guard at the top. You know, that's some decent length on there, man.
Right.
So
It's
if you
actually
can go,
hard. Harder than
dude,
it looks.
What does
It's very
detachables go?
difficult.
Detachables go to what, 2 3/4, I think.
Oh, I have like a 3 and
Oh, dude,
what is
some
that
of the
one I have?
some of the
3
ones
and
that
something
the cosmetologist
quarters.
gets are like they make them a number 8 or whatever. Dude,
Well,
that's
that's
like
with the plastic
that's like
guard.
an inch and a half.
No,
Yeah,
no,
with the plastic
they
guard.
make an 8 like metal guard.
No shit.
Yeah, I've seen. Well, like, cause so like when I was I was
That
taught
sounds like
that.
some dog hair shit.
I was taught the crew way, right? To where like they were at the time. They're actually changing now, but at the time they only used the Oster 76er, and it was the crew edition. And
I liked those clippers.
I love the clippers. They're powerful and they have 2 speeds, a long cord. But so what I was saying is like when they give you the metal guards, right, or the metal blades, you get a triple aught and you get a 1 blade. And that's it. And then you get that comb. You remember the kit.
Well, my
You don't
kit,
even
my
get the one
kit,
in
my
between.
kit, dude. No, my kit that I got at Crave with the crew kit and the crew clippers, I had everything from the quad aught up to the 2.
See, no.
All those.
That's
all
so you
those.
had- so
I
you
had
had-
quad aught, triple aught, 0, 1,
Oh, you don't
1 and a
have-
half,
you
2,
don't have an
and
See,
OA? So,
2.
like-
No, I didn't have the OA. I didn't have the OA.
So like I was when I was trying to learn
that
how
one comes in
to
handy for my ass. Seriously.
when I was trying to learn how to like because I would take pictures of my work all the time, right? And I would try to do fades, and I would just try to use that 1 blade and then the clipper of a comb. Christian can attest.
Dude, I was like, I remember this. Dude.
I would cut
Fade
his
my
hair.
cut
I
my hair.
sucked, and I would always like. I know what a good fade looks like, but I can't get it, and I didn't know why. And so I started getting on YouTube, and I started like researching like fade with detachable blades, and just seeing how
Nobody
everyone
was
else was
really
doing
using
it.
them like that, really.
Well, there was like 2 or 3 videos, and if I could credit the videos right now, I would, but I couldn't. And that's how I learned how to fade with those blades. I finally learned like, oh, they're using every blade in between, like it's like 2 or 3 centimeters apart.
Yeah, that little bit, dude. That
That's
O
how
and
I-
that OA is
Oh, and
a
the
difference.
That's
dude,
how I
it
learned.
is.
That's how I had to learn though from the YouTube thing, because I mean now I can do it with the 1 blade, but that takes some serious like practice and like really it takes a lot of time. But like going from a triple aught down, and if you're blending up top,
It's hard.
dude, it's
without
so
an
hard.
adjustable.
right?
It-
So I just started buying all the blades. I bought all the blades and really like learned that way. Then I started dipping into like, because I remember in school you talking about masters. Never knew anything about him. Then he went to barber school and he was doing shit with like the fast feeds and
everything
and
on masters,
everything,
fast feeds,
right? And I was like,
detachables,
okay,
trimmers.
I'm gonna try this out. So I bought a pair of masters, and it came with a 0 guard and a 1 guard, and I had a idea of how to use it as far because I could see like the lengths change when you
I literally
open and close the
remember when you
blade.
got your clippers.
Yeah.
When you first got your clippers and used
Yeah.
them on me, bro. I
Yeah.
remember.
Was it fucked up?
Yeah, I sucked ass.
It wasn't. I'll be honest. It wasn't like the worst. Like somebody could have easily done worse.
I know what something good
But-
looks
but,
like, but
yeah.
I would never know how to get there. And so like really YouTube, dude, YouTube honestly helped me my skill so much, and also looking like taking photos of my work
And
like
seeing
kind of
the
studying
imperfections?
it and honestly kind of comparing it to other people's work, like the people that I would consider the best in the world at cutting. And I would look at their work and like, damn, why? Like if it's a fade or something like that, I would look at that on Instagram, Mikey. You've ever seen his Instagram?
I haven't.
Well, he has a cool like vibe thing going, but like he does really cool like intricate fades, and I was like I was just inspired by it, trying to learn from it so much. Could never get it. Now I understand it, how to get it there. I can get it there if I want to spend a lot of time on it. So I might invite someone in and spend an hour or 2 on it, but I don't know. I wanted to learn how to do the best haircut I could, and then once I learned that it took me longer than an appointment lasts, I was like, well, maybe this isn't for me. No, but I kind of try to find a middle ground to where it takes
Time-wise?
it's like time-wise and how it looks. Like I want it to look good, but I also don't want to be. I don't even want a client to come in and sit for 2 hours in a chair.
Oh,
like,
dude,
and
2
shit
hours?
me.
Dude, you better be doing a partial full
I'd
if I'm in the
lose-
chair for
yeah.
2 hours.
I'd lose my fucking mind if someone sat me in a chair for 2 hours. I'll
Dude,
tell you that right now.
It's crazy to hear you guys talk about this right now because coming from the industry that I'm in just barbering and like even just the schooling in general is like, if you aren't making a crisp ass fade in like at least 45 minutes, people are like, what the fuck is wrong?
Right.
Like, you're clearly not paying attention in school. But just to hear it come from, I'm not, like, don't think I'm knocking it at all. Like, it's just, it's crazy to hear.
Different training.
I was like, it's crazy to hear the level of education towards the specific market that you work in right now, which you've had, like, you've had basically no training and you're out here doing what you're doing, which is it's a super respectable thing. Like, is honestly what I'm saying is like,
but you know what?
Barbers coming out of school is just.
Well, what's interesting is when you were in barber school, and I had been looking at a lot of barbers and stuff on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would always know, like, I was so like close-minded about like just narrow-minded. Like, I want the shape to be good. I don't care about the shade.
Yeah.
Right. And then I hear you when you started school, and you're like both.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how do I?
I'm both as well.
And I'm like, how do I get both? And then that's when I learned more. Like, I learned so much more from other people cutting my hair than I ever did from actually like a YouTube video. I didn't just learn about like how to cut it. I learned about like what I like about when I'm sitting in a chair getting a haircut. You know what I mean?
Your service overall,
dude,
or more so
really,
your haircut?
All of it. It really helped. Like when I would go to a nicer salon here in Wichita called Irvin Jack's, and the haircut, it wasn't the best haircut I've ever had.
But you had a good service?
It was the best service I've ever had.
And you went back.
Right.
That's what Eric taught
But
us.
then I would go to Christian, and when he was starting out, like, he was annoyingly talented. Like, seriously, it would just be annoying because he just got it right away. And it would be the best haircut I had, but not the best service.
Was it because of the school or the environment? You know what I mean?
All of that. It was the school, the environment. He was limited though.
Right. So we all are when you're in school.
But I've had him do a service on me in here, like just a straight up service.
And it's banging.
It's badass. Like, it's like I get the best haircut I've ever had. Never now, because he gets better a lot, But
yeah, we all evolve and get
top
better.
tier haircut that I've had and great service, and I'm like, this is like exactly what I've always wanted.
Well, that's what you get when you come to TMH.
No, I agree. Exactly. I agree. And I think that's what's cool about the vibe in here is everyone's super like intricate, like haircut wise, like really focuses on the detail, but they're also really focused on making sure everyone's comfortable, the experience is cool, like the service is good.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day, we're in the service industry.
Yeah, we are servants. We serve everybody to make them
might
happy.
as well provide a good service.
Yeah, what they want.
And then when you want to get into like how good it looks, I think that's more of like where the art form comes. Is like, you want to provide the good service, but like in your like to me, I want to do the good service, but in my own mind, I'm like, I want to keep it like an artist form, like make sure it looks good for me, that I like it in a way.
Yeah, man, and honestly, that's where I struggle. You know what I mean? A lot, because I'm like a perfectionist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what
A lot of us are. Honestly,
dude, but like I beat myself to death. Like I go home at night and I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean, dude? I just want to be the best in the world. You know what I mean? Like I want to be the best thing that anybody's ever had. Like. Yeah. Dude, and then I'm like, fuck, so I fall asleep on that bullshit. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, dude, I love that I opened my eyes because I get to go cut hair today.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? What I love about myself, it's like one thing that I tell people that they're like, well, why'd you choose to do what you do? And it's like, because I'm a cosmetic person in general.
Yeah.
Anything I can make look better visually in appearance is what I love to do. That's why I wake up every day. Yeah. Regardless if it's drawing on a piece of paper, spray painting on a wall, painting a car, or cutting hair, you know what I mean? Anything that I do is looking cooler and better in appearance than when I originally saw it. And that's what makes me happy. And when you get to sit down and have a client in your chair and you get to touch somebody personally, you know what I mean? It brings a whole different feeling to you and your soul. Like
you can change a day on someone.
Dude, you can change someone's life. You know what I mean? And what people don't realize, man, is like what you think is the worst shit that you've ever put out of the door may be the best thing that anybody has ever seen or has ever had. And so you just, you know what I mean? It's hard for me to accept that because I don't feel that like every haircut I do is like, you mean up to my par. Like my standards are high as shit. And I feel like I don't touch my standards as much as and often as I would like to. And that should be like 100%.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know what it is for me is like, there's so many like talented people in the world. and it's easy to find them. It's easy to see it, and when you see it and you know it looks the best, and it's hard to get to where you're at, to like it's hard to make the best happen. It's a little frustrating, but at the same time, when you set your goals that high, you know, you're gonna hit somewhere around there.
Right. You know what I mean? You got to set high goals to make high standards. You know what I mean? Have high standards to set to get high goals. And you know what I mean? One thing that I've come in to realize in reality is like when you're on Instagram and you're following these like kick-ass barbers and stylists and you're seeing all this shit on Instagram and you're like, fuck, dude, that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy good. But I've come to terms that they have like specifically picked that person with that hair that is like the perfect hair to cut.
Definitely.
A perfect example of exactly what you're speaking of is, I don't know if you guys probably don't follow him, but his name is on Instagram is I Like to Cut Hair. He's a national educator for Paul Mitchell. But you can watch any one of his videos, and every single one you can tell that person has almost. It's pretty usually a white guy. He's got fairly straight hair, and it's not too fine, but it's not too coarse either. It's like the perfect in between.
V hair.
It is, and it's thick too. The density, you know, hairs per square inch is perfect.
I try to find that.
Change. You said gradient change.
And it's so crazy too. You can tell he just like shampooed them or something, or he either shampooed them or wet their hair down, but then dried off everything else, and then they started the video because these dudes' hairs is just sopping wet. But it's like, you know, the rest. And I was like, it's like it didn't look like he used a spray bottle, and it didn't look like he went and washed them out. So like,
where did this happen?
Well,
exactly.
you know, just like we do with our videos. You see what we want you to see.
Exactly. You see the best. That's what social media is, you know, the glamorizing of life.
Not only like hair social media, but every social media is the glamour.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was like, social media in general is just the best. The best little tidbits of life that you have, you put them out there for the people to see.
Yeah, but what makes it hard for us is that as much as social media gets around, okay, it's not just for the professionals, but it's for the clients, and the clients see that shit as well. Exactly. So they come in here with the expectation of that same shit, exactly. And dude, you're like, dude, and that's where the struggle gets real because you're like me, and you're in there. Fucking sweating,
that's
dude.
where you gotta find the balance, though.
Chafing your ass trying to produce that haircut, dude. And sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's what fucking makes it hard to go to sleep. But then again, you get that good rest, and you wake up, and you realize what you're here to do, and you do it. You know what I mean? That's why.
Exactly.
You know, like for a while there, I was real focused on making everything perfect as possible. Like, and I was just being a perfectionist too much, and I don't know. Almost maybe it was like my own ego thing, like. I'm going to be the best, so I got to do the best all the time, right? But then, I don't know, I had to, like, really take a step back and look at it as, like, I'm here for myself, yes, but I'm here for, the client at the end of the day. Like, here's what matters to me, and here's what matters to the client, and you got to really find a balance there, you know? If you want to do something that really matters to you, that's when I invite people, like, hey, come get a free haircut. Let me do this. Right. And that's where I love it. I love the production side, like doing like photo stuff and video stuff and putting like cool music and stuff like that.
And I've never like ever in my career, in my lifetime, have like been any bit a part of any type of editing, photo, videography, photography, musical, any of that stuff, man. I've like I love it, you know what I mean? But I've never been a part of it. Maybe it's
different,
just,
you know?
It is. It's another artistic thing, you know what I mean? It's just, something that it's
cool. It's like, to me, it's like collaborating. Like Chris Hill do the videos and he'll make the music for it. And to me, it's like almost a collaborative thing. It's like, here, like, grab this shot, this, you know, we almost kind of direct him. But he also puts his own thing in it and then makes the music and stuff. But it's really collaborative.
And I'll say that in Wichita, Kansas, like, dude, like, if I go to State Beauty Supply and, like, I'm there to, like, the last 2 times that I went there to get anything, they're like, oh, so what salon are you at now? Or what shop are you at now? And I'm like, TMH. And I'm like, oh, that's Braden Oakley's spot, dude. He's the guy that does the videos. You know what I mean? And, like, dude, Braden
that's why I keep doing the videos.
Yeah, Braden, like, you are known... like from, you know what I mean, for the videos, and they're hot, and it like, you know what I mean?
That's got to keep going though, you know? Yeah. That's what I want everyone to be, is like, you know, if you want to be, that's what I want him to be, is like videos. I think videos are what's gonna, like, photos right now are pretty big. You know, like people, like photos go viral,
But the videos are bigger. You know what I mean? It's
Videos
more
go-
personal. Like,
yeah.
it lets
Oh, no, it's
you
just-
know. It gets in there deeper.
Yeah.
It's the content. I was like, it's the personal aspect that people feel through the internet.
We're back.
All right.
All right. So we poured.
Cheers.
We poured a new bottle. This is now 3. Cheers, guys.
Full glasses all around. Full glasses all around here too. There's
Let me
just
mention, I
something
might
to
have to
mention.
call safe drivers because I'm
Yeah.
fucking hammered.
Yeah, good deal.
Well, that's not like a college town where they just have buses. Like we got the city bus, but I'm not sure how late they run. You know, so
With
like
the trolley?
Yeah, whatever,
Uber.
man. I don't know, man. you try to spend money.
Yeah, dude,
It's like,
that's
I'm trying to
right.
get home for free.
Exactly.
I don't know. This is a. I don't mind this wine. I don't know why it was the price it was.
It's
but
Merlot.
I like
it's
a Merlot.
It's Merlot,
dude.
and it was also the closest gas station to here. And let's be honest, we're in a bit of
This
an,
came from the gas station?
We're in an interesting part of town, per se.
Yeah, I was like, we're in a different part of town. No, right next door to a gas station. It was they had a shelf of wine about yay big and about yay tall. So I mean, this was the only. I'm surprised they even had a Merlot. Let's be honest here. Like, I'm shocked that they had 2 bottles. One being dusty as hell. Let's be honest here. I'm pretty sure this is a cobweb right here on the bottle. Like, I'm shocked that they had this in their inventory. And only $5.99 too. Like, I'm not afraid to drink.
What about the Boone's Farm?
Oh, get out of here, dude.
See, like, this guy's over here drinking $6 fucking bottles of Merlot like it's the best fucking wine he's ever drank. But then it's like, you know, you say a $4 bottle of Boone's Farm, you're like,
No, it's not that.
Get
It's
your
not
fucking
that.
shit
It's
out
not
of
the
here.
price. It's the taste, like the sweetness.
Boone's Farm
I
is
can
kind of like
dig the
Kool-Aid
Boone's
with
Farm.
alcohol in it.
I can't
though.
do that.
That's what I'm
Sweetness.
about that life. Dude, if my Kool-Aid doesn't have 6 cups of sugar in it, you got me fucked up.
I'm sorry. Like, if
agree
we're
with that,
if we're
for
getting
sure.
into that territory, I might as well just drink a whole bottle of UV by myself because that's basically like drinking Kool-Aid with like 30% alcohol in it. So it's
I
like
don't
just
like the
getting wrecked.
sweet stuff. You know, Christian and I and a few other of our buddies, we're doing this thing the whole month of March where we can't drink beer. Just
Beer's
beer.
and gout.
Like we can drink.
Oh, we can't drink beer.
We can
Only
drink
wine
liquor
and
and wine,
alcohol.
of course.
Wine and liquor.
We're not going to cut out alcohol. Like we're not savages, but
I mean,
it's
we
gonna be
are
interesting.
savages, but not in the fashion that we're just going to cut all of these modern, you know, amenities out of our
yeah,
life.
it's
like
going to be
alcohol
tough
and wine.
to not drink beer though. I'll be honest.
If I have beer in my schedule, I have to make sure that I eat no meat for the whole week.
Really?
Dude, otherwise, full blown gout flare up guaranteed.
Really?
I'll be
What are
off
you
of work.
talking about?
I'll be off of work for
this
2
is-
weeks, dude. Like,
Talking
it's no
about
joke.
gout, that is insane.
It
The
hurts.
last reference of gout I have in my life is in the movie The Hobbit.
I've never heard
The
of it until
Hobbit.
tonight.
I think it's the second movie in The Hobbit, maybe even the first. There's one of the like the owner of the town in The Hobbit has a gout.
Dude, you know
And he
what?
has to drink brandy all day just to get rid of his fucking gout.
Man, it's cherry juice. Cherry juice
Really?
and cherry juice, natural cherry juice, or eating cherries really helps break down the uric acid. Also, what is it? Your apple cider vinegar with a mix of honey in it is a really good remedy for gout to ease out the uric acid. But you know, what I mean, they say that what is the apple cider vinegar is good for a natural remedy for everything and natural health in general. They recommend that you should drink a glass of it a day. You know what I mean? Just
A
to keep
glass of it?
Well, not a glass, but
was
like,
like
a
a
cup,
shot in
like
a
a
glass?
cup, like a little cup of tea. Make it like a tea. But I guarantee you, you know what I mean?
Shit's
A lot
horrid.
of majority of the people that I talk to, whenever I mention gout, honestly, probably don't know anything about what I'm talking about, and I have to explain it to them.
Yeah.
Or the people that do know what I'm talking about, they reference Bobby Hill from King of the Hill when he had gout. So, you know what I mean? And I haven't even seen that episode. So I think it's kind of funny whenever I mention gout and people are like, what the hell is
You
that?
gotta be talking
Like I
to
have some type
older
of
people
disease.
too. I was like, because I haven't like For at least us two, I was like,
Yeah, it
King of
sounds
the
like a
Hill
disgusting-
wasn't that prevalent. Like when we were younger,
never
it was
seen
like it moved into more of like Family Guy and South. I mean, South Park's been prevalent since fucking 1999 or
I've
even
also
earlier,
only
whatever it
seen
was.
like 3 episodes of South Park probably in my life.
You Kilkenny,
because
bastards.
you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, I guess so. I just don't like that stuff.
You don't know about the rare duck-foot platypus?
Exactly.
No. Also knows The Simpsons. Something sketchy's going on with them. Okay. Why do they predict everything?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, dude. I think they were reading what is it? What is the book of the Bible where everything predicts like the future? They said Proverbs or something like that.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I don't
I mean,
know.
I'm not much of a Bible
Not
thumper.
crazy religious here.
Me neither. But
I don't know, but all I know is The Simpsons are in the Illuminati. Okay.
Hey, did they hold up the diamonds like Michael Jackson did? They say that Michael Jackson or Jay-Z.
They said
is-
Tupac and everybody. They said everybody. Everybody holds up the little like, or they have their hands like this. They're like, it'll be like that. Just
Dude,
fucking
I
holding
forget.
up.
There was a football player that every time he'd score a touchdown, he would do this number on it. And
Is he Illuminati?
He was on the Chiefs. I forgot his name. But yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah.
So if we're speaking on the Illuminati right now,
I'm assuming everyone.
I would sell
is
my
on the
soul to Illuminati to be the best barber hairstylist in the
I
world.
wouldn't.
Like,
I don't.
I
Even,
wouldn't because I already am.
yeah, what? Whoa,
I don't know anything
Simba.
about it.
Exactly.
he's flamed.
I'm not scared. Not scared.
Honestly,
Come at me
Yeah, ooh,
on social media and in real life.
bang
Both.
from downtown. Boom shakalaka, he said.
so where do you like where are you heading in your career? You think where do like 5 years from now? What do you exactly want to be at?
In a Ferrari.
All right, I mean,
Legitimately.
don't we all? But like,
Like-
realistically, like career wise, where do you see yourself?
Man, dude, you know, a lot further and better in life and, you know what I mean, in general from where I'm at today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I like to set goals, man, and in my head, my goals and my inspiration, and a lot of stuff seems like irrational to me and myself, being that I set my goals and standards so freaking high that like I should go to ComCare and get medicine to make myself healthy. You know what I
I
mean?
think that's
To understand my goals in my
I think it's a good thing to set your goals. Like if you can
should.
handle disappointment, I think it's a good thing to set your goals to unthinkable
No, you should.
heights.
You should. I feel the same way. Like this will literally sound crazy to a lot of people, but one of my goals in life is to be able to build a device that is able to harness gravity. So you can basically
Christian ate acid tonight. Christian ate acid.
Like, dude, I'm serious. I'll set my goals so fucking high that no one will be able to achieve them in my lifetime.
Can I get some of that LSD?
All right,
can.
that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, back on topic here though. Like,
You gotta be real though. You gotta be real with yourself. Like that's never gonna happen. But I'm probably gonna do some pretty fucking cool shit in my life.
okay,
Seems like the hair game's nothing after I fucking tried that shit.
Dude,
Okay.
Bill Gates ain't got shit on Christian.
Exactly. Fuck around. Fuck with me. Like I said, fuck with me.
cheers to that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to drink that.
gonna
one.
cheers to
like,
that one.
I can't even
Cheers to the-
I can't
cheers to
even
this one as
comprehend
well.
what Christian just said.
See exactly.
That's
right.
beyond knowledge.
Anyways,
Exactly.
back on some more realistic things though. I think it's good to set your goals to what you think is untouchable.
Yeah, but
If
I think it's
you're-
unhealthy, man. For me, it's unhealthy because
Yeah, but if you can handle disappointment, it's not.
yeah, but you know, I've lived a rough life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, literally, I mean, I've been there.
Like,
and
elaborate
done
on
it.
that, though.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean? Like my family life, dude. My kids' life, dude. Like street life. You know what I mean? Like I have lived a lot of aspects of like every different type of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like drugs, jail, you know what I mean? Like foster care system, you know what I mean? Like, and all that, dude, has so much to do with disappointment in my life that I feel like it's made me a really strong person, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
of who I am today, emotionally, physically.
You learned about yourself.
I do. I learn a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, and it's taken me a lot of soul searching, a lot of deep down digging to find out who I am and what I believe in and what makes most sense to me, and and a lot of that has to come from disappointment. So disappointment is absolutely, you know what I mean, no letdown in my life. You know what I mean? With that being said, you know what I mean, maybe that's why I do set my standards and goals so high,
Yeah.
but it's still, you know what I mean, it's like, I don't know what it is, it's an obsession.
Well,
I think.
I think it's important to know yourself.
Oh
first
yeah,
of all.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. That's first things first. But I don't like it. Like a lot of people might break under, like they put themselves under so much pressure, and they can't
Handle
get to where they want to be, and it breaks them. But I think if it's not going to break you, then like do everything you can to get to the highest goal that you can set.
Oh, for sure. But I think the highest goal you set, you know what I mean? Like if you're not progressing in life, in your career, and doing the things that make you happy, you know what I mean, and trying to make yourself better than yesterday, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? What is your purpose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like I want to be on my deathbed. Like shit, I didn't fucking do better than I did yesterday, and I'm gonna die today knowing that I didn't do better.
Yeah.
And like.
You don't want to,
you know what I mean?
You don't
Like,
want to be old and dying and like regret anything.
Dude, I think regret should be taken from out of vocabulary, because you know what? Regardless of what it was that you done in your life, like it was fun the fucking time that you're doing it, dude. So why regret it later? You know what I mean? If you were happy and it was balls to wall, dude, and you loved and
Then I guess
laughed,
you don't want to regret that you didn't try harder or didn't do more when you could, kind of thing.
Speaking along those lines, I mean, I guess if I'm getting into a more realistic goal here, would be like one of my goals within the industry in my own career is to do hair at one of, if not all three major fashion weeks, which would be Paris, Milan, and New York. Like that's one of my goals within the industry is to do for me the reason it boils down to something like that is like the freedom that you have at that kind of thing. Like when you are asked by one of the artists that is going to present fashion or however you get involved. See, I haven't even gotten as far as how do I get involved in this thing. It's whenever you're asked to do, like, I feel like you have so much creative freedom at an event like that.
who's to tell you what's wrong?
No, I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, you have complete control over what the turnout of the hair looks like. And like, I like good shapes and I like nice blends and I like a good mix of the two. So it's like, I feel like I would bring a really nice hair aspect to that environment. And so it's like, that's one of my goals is to do hair at Fashion Week, whether that be one or all, preferably all of them, because it'd be dope as fuck to go to Paris, Milan, and New York. But
Cool. Like, where do you see like your goals as far as hair goes, though?
Man, like,
Do you
my end outcome, like ever since I was little, I always wanted to be on TV. Like, I've always wanted to be the center of attention with magnitudes of people seeing whatever it is that I'm doing all at one time.
Yeah.
Like my 5 minutes of fame, you know what I mean? And that's not running from the police in a high-speed chase. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to be my 5 minutes of fame. But like, I want it to be like, I want to be on stage, like doing platform work and like just on film and like, with millions of people seeing what I feel is like, you know what I mean, a miracle of a haircut. You know what I mean? That's what my goal is. Like, that's why I want my end result. Like, if I was to be dying, I want to know that I was able to achieve that. Yeah. For sure. That's what my future goal is.
You speaking on that reminds me of this quote I saw from Robert Cromians, the global director from Paul Mitchell. He like put out this little thing and like there's some quote on the.
Hold on, are you wearing
a
a Scorum shirt?
Yeah, I am.
That's lame. I just noticed that.
I went to their little event in Dallas. They had like a little. It was dope as fuck because it was an open bar, as well as a hair show. So like, obviously I was drinking, and obviously I was watching these dope ass dudes do some hair. Was
it Scorum?
Oh yeah.
You seen them?
Yeah.
Personally?
The Bloody Butcher and the Bearded Bastard.
I'm not
Look
worthy.
them up on Instagram. They're pretty fucking dope. I got to meet them too. Chatted them up for probably 20, 30 minutes, and it was a good time at the show. They put on. This is another thing I liked. They put on a good show, as well as they produced a good haircut and also gave good knowledge within the industry. What people are looking for, like within the hair industry, is like they want the knowledge, to be able to do what all these people are doing to, So like Shoreham, they've gained a bunch of fame because they're who they are. They are their own person. They do the hair that they want to do, and there's something to be said for that. Like to get to the point in the industry where you're able to do the hair that you want to do, have the clients that you want to have, as well as do it in the way that you want to do it. You know, like they're pretty open with who they are as a person.
Basically,
which is something I say you should be more.
They do whatever
like in
the
the
fuck
industry.
they want, and they're
Exactly.
really authentic.
See, when I was I thought I was producing the same haircuts. I was like real discouraged. Like I'm bored. Maybe I chose the wrong profession, but then I just kind of realized that I was only marketing the same haircut, and so I started pushing out on the internet more like longer haired individuals and funky styles and things like that. And I watched my clientele either want to change there or gain new clientele that wanted that longer weird styles or more textured styles like that.
And what I kind of meant, when I said like, when I encourage doing the same hairstyle, I guess what I really mean is I encourage having a system to use
Yeah.
for the haircut. Like I do every haircut, I go in with a blade and I set my longest length. So, you know, if my longest length is going to be a 3.5, I'll take a 3.5. I'll go up the side of the head with that. And then what I'll do is I'll come in underneath that with my shortest blade at the very bottom of that haircut, and I'll come up from there. You know, fade up. A lot of people fade down, but
That's
I find
what
it,
that's what I consider blending down.
See,
If you start with the longest, then you're going down. You're down step.
Yeah.
okay,
I like
mean,
to do skip card stuff though a lot
Yeah.
personally, but depends on who you are. I mean, like I said before, there's a million different ways to get the same result.
Right.
So-
So I honestly I do both at the same time. Like I'll go start with my longest, and then I'll come down and then blend, or you know what I mean, hit my baseline with my lowest setting. So I'll do my longest length and set that top, separate the top from the sides. Okay, and then I'll come down with my lowest length and then set my baseline in, you know what I mean, where I want my blend to come down to at the very bottom. And then I'll either blend up or blend down from both, or sometimes go, you know what I mean,
just in
in between until I
through
meet in the
there.
middle.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
sure.
you.
For sure. Well, how much time we got do you think on this, Chris?
We're at 46.
46 minutes.
I feel like it's a
46
decent
minutes
little,
and I got fucking drunk.
decent little chunk of time. Decent little chunk of time, man.
So
Yeah.
46 minutes, 3 bottles of wine later. I feel like we're in a good spot to
We're
start
on a
closing
decent
it out.
pace too of bottles of wine. I can respect this
Yeah,
pace.
and not that I've been chugging.
Not that
I
I've been
haven't
cutting
chugging.
hair.
I've just been
Shit.
drinking at a steady pace the entire 45 minutes we've been doing this.
Oh, fuck. So, I guess we can close it out, Cole. Appreciate you taking your time tonight, coming to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Getting hammered with us.
Yeah, I appreciate being here, man, because this was a little bit to introduce myself and let everybody know
Yeah.
about who I am. And
It's a little different, like talking into a mic and being on camera, but
it is.
it's easy.
And now I know how. Maybe when I hear this back, I'll hear how I sound to my clients, and maybe I might be able to change it a little bit and not sound.
Well,
so
you know, all you
douchey.
gotta do for that is go karaoke a few times. You might hear your voice
I've
and really
karaoke.
figure it out.
I've karaoke,
He's
but I've
all
only
about
heard
the
my
karaoke.
voice.
He's really just wants to be a Justin Timberlake wannabe, basically at this point. So
Well, Bruno
If I could be
Mars.
anybody in the world, it'd be JT. I don't give a shit. That
Really?
dude gets more pussy than anybody's ever had in their life, dude. So
can
I like some
respect that
JT.
point of
I like
view.
some
I
Bruno.
can respect that point of view.
But anyways, appreciate you coming on tonight, Christian. Appreciate you taking your time. Chris,
Always.
thanks a lot.
deuces.
Let's cheers it out.
I would cheers.
You're
out.
out?
but I gave mine away, dude.
Fuck you.
I
then.
need to drive home.
Cheers, Chris. Christian.
Yep.
Hey, drink responsibly.
All right. Thanks for
guys.
tuning in to the Men's Hair Drinker
Always
podcast,
strive
and
better.
we're out.